Hello friends, myself Parag Jitendra Sarvadi. Today I am present a seminar on heat flux sensor. We know various types of transducers and sensors. Before going to heat flux sensor, I want to explain about transducer, what is basically transducer and what is basically sensor. First of all, transducer. A transducer is a device which converts a signal in one form of energy to another form. Basically, there are two transducers are in the system. First is primary transducer, second is a secondary transducer, which are combinedly called a single transducer. In primary transducer, we see the first primary transducer converts any form of energy into other form, and secondary transducer converts that form of energy into electrical signal. So finally, at the output of a transducer, we get electrical signal. Energy types in transducer that generally includes electrical, mechanical, electromagnetic, chemical, acoustic, and thermal energy. Next is a sensor. The sensor is a converter basically that measures a physical quantity and convert it into a signal which can read by observer or an instrument. This is a diagram of sensor, real time. If temperature is a parameter, sensor sense it and convert it the readable format for instrument or an observer. There are several types of sensors are available, like temperature sensor, pressure sensor, displacement sensor, level sensor, etc. Instead of these, for heat flux sensor, we need temperature sensor. In temperature sensor, there are various types of temperature sensors are available. That are RTD, like resistance temperature dependence. In its name, resistor temperature dependence means when we apply the temperature, the resistance changes due to that temperature. That sensor detects that change in the resistance and the output in the form of change in voltage. Also, there is a thermocouple. In a heat flux sensor, we will use the thermopile as a main sensor. Thermopile is nothing but thermocouples connected serially. Means various thermocouples we are connected in serially to form thermopile. Thermocouple is nothing but there is a basic principle behind the thermocouple is that if we connect two dissimilar metal wires with each other and put one at hot temperature and second is at cold temperature. Hot temperature means the joint, if we increase the gradually hotness of that junction, the potential difference generated across that wire, and this potential difference we can get, that is the change in potential difference we can measure. So this is the basic principle for thermocouple, and this thermocouple we will use in heat flux sensor instead of by using thermopile. There are also thermistor is there, bimetallic strips are there in temperature sensor. So before going to learn heat flux sensor, some basic fundas are there for heat flux sensor. First is heat. So what is heat? Heat is nothing but the transfer of energy. Like this is a system, it's having a boundary and its surrounding. If you put hot metal in cold surrounding, so heat can be generated which is transferred from hot to cold junction, as I earlier told in the principle of thermocouple. Now in this system, the heat is transmitted from system to surrounding by crossing the boundary. In next, heat flux. What is the flux? Heat flux is the similar phenomenon like magnetic flux. When we link electromagnetic means two coils which are carrying electrical current near to each other, it generates flux which is linked with another coil. Like here, heat flux. Heat flux is defined as the amount of heat transfer per unit area per unit time from the surface. Like the transfer of energy will be called as heat, but the transfer of heat we will call that heat rate. So the flux is not definitely equal to heat rate divided by that area, surface area where we put where we get the reading of that. So the next thing in our seminar, so by getting the definition of heat and heat flux, we have the next phenomenon is there are some modes which are using to transfer the heat, like from one source or hot junction to cold junction. There are basically three modes are there. One is conduction, second is radiation, and third is convection. Like we see here, there are some woods, wooden blocks are fire, and the heat is getting by the man. This type of heat transfer is called convection. Secondly, the conduction. As I told earlier that if we get one metal rod and I hit this side gradually, we will get the transfer of it. If we pick this side, the heat should be transferred, and after some time we will get hot at that end, this end also. This is time. This type is generally called as conduction, and third is radiation. Radiation is the nothing but the transfer of heat energy without any medium. Like you will see distinctly like convection. In our house, we will use cookers or pots on gas and put some liquid or any solid in it, and when we use the temperature to it, like the burner is placed here and use the temperature. Here is inside some water or some fluid is present. Due to that heat, the heat should be generated inside the water, and this type of generated heat is due to convection. Secondly, radiation. Radiation, I already told that the radiation doesn't need any medium or any fluid or any gas to transfer from one side to another side. So this is called radiation. And the same way, sun gives the heat to another planets also by the way of this. If one more example is that if this is a pot and we will place a burner here, and we will see near to that pot we feel some heat. This is because of radiation which are going from pot to surrounding. Like this is a system as I told earlier, and this is your surrounding. The energy is transferred to system transfer heat to the surrounding by this is the boundary. Next, this is the third type of the heat transfer, that is conduction. As I earlier told, conduction is for what? If this is a metal rod, we will put here the burner and give the heat to this side, and if I picked up that rod this side, when the heat increases, there is some ions or protons are generated and going toward this side. After some time, I feel some heat to my hand. This is nothing but in this solid material. If this is a this side I put at high temperature and this is a low temperature, then if T high is a high temperature and T low is a low temperature, the heat can be flow from high temperature to low temperature, that is from left side to right side. Next, after that, there is another phenomenon called heat energy. Heat energy is nothing but it is related to heat flux directly. How heat energy can be generated. You will see if these are two plates. This is kept at temperature T1. We will kept at this plate at T2. If this is the distance between two plates x, and if this is the delta is nothing but that flux generated inside. Then we can see there are three modes: heat coming via convection, via radiation, via conduction. So from this we will calculate Q, that is heat energy, by mc delta T by delta mod T, where m is nothing but mass, C is nothing but corresponding specific heat, and delta T by delta small t is nothing but calculate the final to calculate the final heat transfer in this system, there is a formula for heat energy, that is Q is equal to heat is coming via convection plus heat is coming via radiation minus heat is coming via conduction, as shown here. So we will calculate the final heat energy for it. Now we are going to our sensor, that is heat flux sensor. Heat flux sensor. These basically all types of heat flux sensors uses thermopile. There are different types of thermopiles like J type, K type thermopile. Here we will see how it works. It is nothing but a transducer that generates an electrical signal proportional to the total heat rate applied to the surface of sensor. Like if this is the surface of the sensor, it generates total an electrical signal proportional to the total heat which I supplied to it. Means the transfer of energy, what transfer of energy I supplied to this surface, that in that proportional he generates electrical signal, and that electrical measured heat rate, output measured heat rate, I will transfer to, I will divided by the surface area of that sensor. By using this, I can determine the finally heat flux which I require. The next, this is the structure of heat flux sensor. Means how heat flux sensor having the basically the structure having it having two plates which are fully finished by pure copper. In this there are nickel alloy and copper alloy is placed one by one in this, and above the plates having some collectors. Collectors is nothing but thermopile. When the heat flow like conduction, radiation and convection, these three modes are having, when heat flow is coming on in the plate perpendicular to that plate, the collectors are produce proportional heat proportional voltage to that heat and give it at the output. So because of this we get the heat flux at the output, because nickel alloy produces that heat rate, and the heat rate which we require at the output. Then heat flux measurement. Basically, how we will measure the heat flux? First of all, most of the methods for measuring heat flux are based on temperature measurement on the surface or close the surface of solid material. Usually, how it measures? Usually they insert a device like heat plate. Like heat flux sensor have different names like heat flux gauge, heat flux plates. So heat flux plate they insert in the soil, for example in the soil, and that soil will generate the temperature in voltage proportional to that temperature and gives it at the output. So we will get both physical destruction and the thermal destruction of the surface. Like in this diagram, it uses two heat flux plates. One is averaging soil thermocouple, and third is water content reflectometer. Like this here and here, we will put two heat flux plate. Now we will how we put if by using knife, it will be cut in below of 8 cm. After 8 cm cutting, they place two heat flux plates in it. Here he plates soil thermocouple, averaging soil thermocouple, and water content reflectometer. Now reflectometer is useful for in soil there is the quantity of water is not stable. After some time some water will be evaporated in the air or it's reduced. So for this purpose we will put reflectometer there. Thermocouple is there to get average of that soil, and flux plates are there to get if this is a certain area, and we will put plate one plate here, one plate here. Due to this, here is not a constant volume of the water or the temperature is present. In different time position, different temperatures are available. By giving two heat plates, we get average of that and calculated the average heat flux characteristic of heat flux sensor. For the heat flux density, first of all, consider this figure where heat flow is occurred in the metal having cold side and hot side. Where we get for heat density, we have the formula phi q is equal to V sensitive, where V sensor about E, where V sen is equal to sensor output and E sen is the calibration constant. Phi q is the heat flux density. This can be achieved by when heat is flowing through this. There is some temperature dependence is occurred, which is hard for heat flux sensor. This is one of the error. So we will use the sandwich construction for that. Sandwich constructions means we will use the thick metal plate on both sides. So by using this, the metal plates which are having high conductivity, by using this, the transport of heat across the whole sensitivity of the surface and the effect of temperature dependence is less. To know about this diagram, we will simply put there R and C. Like this diagram we are converted into electrical diagram. This is for resistance, this is for capacitance, and T sen. T is nothing but response time. So by using these three phenomenon in this characteristic, we get finally T sen is equal to R sen into C sen. We know there is a temperature dependence criteria is dangerous for this thing. So we will remove this or minimize this by using, we will increase the filling material and the values of R sen and C sen to make the balance between temperature dependence and the output. Secondly, next is error source. Error source means if we put the heat flux sensor plate in the soil. Here I told that there is a different way, there are different temperatures in different points in the soil. For that purpose, this is the formula of heat sink. How it gets the error, like E is the error, T sen is the response time. As this is the first formula. In second case, there is the main error in the heat flux plate, that is the response time. The response time is very large in heat flux sensor. This is the one of the major error. For 95% of its total output, it takes to reach to T sen like response time. So to calculate this time, we will use this formula e raised to 1 upon minus T upon T sen. So there are some examples for heat flux sensor which uses. The first is pyrometer. Pyrometer is nothing but the type of actinometer which are used to measure the broadband solar irradiance on a planar surface. Means pyrometer is basically used to detect the solar radiation. This is used in very applications like in solar studies or in astrological studies. There are some typical one major advantage of this pyrometer is that it doesn't require any power. It runs without any power. The beam radiator varies with cosine of angle. Means when the ray of the sun placed on this sensor, the radiator angle which is varies with cosine angle of incident of the ray. Means if the solar radiation hits the sensor perpendicularly, so we get full response from the system. But if the sun is at horizontal, means this is horizontal to that angle, so we get zero response. Then this is the basic design for that. A thermopile sensor with black coating is available here. This sensor absorbs all solar radiation. Means in this we see one dome, glass dome is there, and this is the main plate which is a black color coated. This black coated Plane is nothing but a thermopile which absorbs all the radiations from the sun, and the glass dome. Like if the range of this thermopile is nothing but 0 to 5000 nanometer. We want only 300 to 2800 nanometers for this spectrum. So the main work of this glass dome is to reduce the 0 to 5000 nanometer in the range of 3 to 2000 nanometer, 2800 nanometers. This is the usage of pyranometer. This is first in metrology. Metrology is nothing but science of material. In this field, the pyranometer is used to get the different temperatures or heat flux generated by that material. In climatography in climate changes. In solar energy studies, as earlier I said, it get the solar rays on it and use the output according to the angle of incidence, which makes a cosine angle with the surface. Then the building physics. In building physics means the pyranometer is placed in the roof or on the wall to get the changes in that wall according to the heat flux. Second is the garden gauge. This is the most commonly used reflux sensor, where this is also called as Schmidt Volter gauge. It is typically used to measurement of thermal resistance of heat flux on building envelope. Envelope means wall or roof. Also, this sensor type can be dug in to measure soil heat flux. If we, as earlier I said, if there is a soil and we will to measure the different temperature heat flux generated in that soil, we will place this type of gauge inside that. This type of gauge includes two similar rods, and inside a ring is there. Due to that ring is nothing but a thermopile. Because of that thermopile, we can easily measure that heat flux sensor. Heat flux. Then there are some types according to construction and working. There are basically 10 types for that. First is heat flux plate. Heat flux plate is the most commonly generally used plate in the heat flux criteria. This serves to measure the heat that flows through the object in which it is incorporated or on which it is mounted. Means, as earlier I said the example. In this example, these two plates are kept. These two plates are nothing but heat flux plate. The range for heat flux plate is nothing but 10 kilowatt. 10 kilowatt. The next is specification, which is having a nominal sensitivity of 50 microvolt per watt meter square. The temperature range is from -30 to +70 degrees centigrade. Sensor thermal resistance is less than 6.25 into 10 raised to -3. The range is from -2000 to +2000 kilowatt. That's why it's most popular. This is the second second type of sensor, which is ultra sensitive heat flux sensor. The basic difference in first heat flux plate and this is only that in that we will use the above 10 kilowatt, but in ultrasonic plate this is used for to measure a small heat fluxes to soil, walls or building envelope. Like it uses below 10,000 kilowatt. The specification for it is 500 microvolt per W meter square. Here in the last sensor, the last plate and this plate, the difference is only in nominal sensitivity. But their resistance, nominal temperature, nominal resistance, temperature range, sensor thermal resistance, range and expected equal accuracy is all same. Next is heat flux sensor with readout unit. This is the most commonly used sensor in mobile applications. Like this is the sensor and this is the display unit. It uses two batteries of one wire with 5 ohm meter, and here you see when it is placed in the environment, in mobile environment, it gives the output of flux on it with the use of TC. On computer we also calculate these all things. These are the specifications for it. Heat flux range is up to 10 kilowatt per meter square. Exposure time is 10 minutes. Cable length is 5 minutes. AD sample rate 1 per second. Means it is also uses A to D converter in it. That's why we will get the digital output on PC. Their AD resolution is 1 or 10 microvolt, and as I told, it uses 2 AA type batteries. Next is needle type heat flux sensor. This is most commonly and more versatile sensor. In this, it is used to perform continuous measurement of temperature and heat fluxes in furnace mode. As we know, furnace in industry that is very hot. We want to change the temperature at every second of that furnace. So this type of needle sensor we will use, and we get the continuous output by running process. The one more advantage of this type of sensor is that his construction is basically done by it is easily put in any environment, in the industrial environment. These are some specifications for it. Its nominal sensitivity depends on of exact design. Means how long this tooth is available in it. The sensitivity depends on it. Then second is temperature range, which is from -30 to +700 degrees centigrade. Its working range is 0.05 to 50 kilometer meter square. Heat flux output signal is analog microvolt, and this uses a thermocouple, which is a type of A. For analog microvolt measurements, it requires high capacity of voltmeter. Next is high temperature heat flux sensor. This is used to perform a measurement of heat fluxes and surface temperature at high temperature. Means in high industrial environment, it is used to get take the temperature same time from two things. It get two inputs and get one output. These are its specifications, like its nominal sensitivity is 0.5 to 10⁻³ millivolt per W meter square at 90 degrees centigrade. Temperature range is -30 to +800 degrees centigrade. Protection sensor is IP65. Working range is 0.05 to 50 kilometer square, and its metal cable length 900 mm, which is larger in all types. This next is industrial heat flux sensor. It is used to measure heat flux in industrial environment. This is the most commonly used sensor in industry. It is covered with a stainless steel cover. In this sensor inside the plate is there, and it is covered with steel cover. Its specifications are: there are normal sensitivity is 15 microvolt per watt per meter square. Temperature range is 170 degrees centigrade maximum. Range is 0 to 6 kilowatt, and cable length is 3 meter, which is standard or can be extended. Next is ring heat flux sensor. The RHF sensor consists of heat flux sensors designed for studies of fouling behavior during combustion processes. Means this type of sensor is used near the combustion, where the combustion process occurs, like in vehicles where near the engine. We will use this sensor to measure the heat flux of that. Due to this is near to the combustion chamber, it gradually the temperature of this increases. Because of this, it uses cooling system. It depends on air or oil. It is user's responsibility to make the temperature of sensor is steady. Then its nominal sensitivity is 4 microvolt per kilowatt meter square. Temperature range is up to +800 degrees centigrade. Temperature sensing is thermocouple type K once again, and its response time typical 120 seconds. This is 90%. This is the most very good response time sensor in all type. Next is change of heat flux sensor. As we see that high temperature heat flux sensor, it also get two input and one output, which are compared with on both inputs. In this Age of heat flux. It also gives two inputs and give one output. It is useful for to measure a small thermal effects that usually remain hidden. This is attained by the direct measurement of changes in heat flux. This type of heat flux is directly placed near to any heat, like we will see the needle type sensor. We also contains a needle to get the heat flux. The specification for it is temperature range is -55 to +260 degree centigrade. Temperature sensor, which is once again a thermocouple K, which is from NCMC. Its probe diameter is 2 mm and response time is 1 second typically or 1 string. Next, we are coming towards the next type of the heat flux sensor, which is belt heat flux sensor. This is most commonly used sensor in the pipes or in the very high temperature area. This type of sensor is placed in the like this. This is a pipe in ship on the ship. It having a very high pressure, which is up to 110 Pascal, and the very tighted water bound is here. In this area, this sensor is placed and to measure the heat flux inside the pipe. This is a large area flexible heat flux and temperature sensor for in situ evaluation of the insulation value of the pipe. Like we will use the pipes in very commonly in industrial area or in the seaways, in the undersea where the oil should be transferred. There are high pressure should be generated, and due to this, the heat flux sensor, this type of sensor is placed there to measure the heat flux of that plate. Next is the specification for that heat flux sensor is that somewhere sensitivity is should be 50 microvolt to for watt meter square. Its temperature range is from 0 to 100 degree centigrade. Its pressure range is 1 to 110 bar. Its expected accuracy for 50 degree centigrade is within 2.5%, which is very less. Its heat flux measurement, for heat flux measurement it uses 3 separate heat flux sensors. Like for one used pipe, there are minimum 3 heat flux sensors are placed and get the common output for it. And as I told earlier that the temperature measurement, there are 4 types of K thermocouples are used. Here the maximum thermocouples used in these all types in heat flux sensors are K type thermocouples. And next is radiation and or convection heat flux sensor. This is the major type of all heat flux sensor because it is useful in both heat transfer modes, radiation as well as convection mode. Here the stainless steel assembly is there. Inside the plate is mounted. In this is a heat flux and temperature sensor for study of radiation, convection and heat transfer in ovens, furnace, baking and drying processes. This sensor is placed in this in ovens or in furnace to get heat from convecting heat also and radiation equal to. As I told earlier in the example, if this is a pot which is put in on burner, this is putting on the burner. Here the radiation and the convection both are heat produced. And this is the radiation. So in furnace, in industry, there are very high use of furnace, which is very hot in temperature is used. There both the radiation also occurs and convection is also occurs. In this environment, this type of heat flux sensor is used. For this, if see this diagram of generally convection or radiation type heat flux sensor, where these are the two plates where that sensor is placed. This is the air gap between that. Here the two plates are used. One is for black coated plate, and second is the gold coated plate. In a black metal coated plate, it absorbs both type, radiation also and convection type heat also. And this gold type plate only absorb the convection type heat. For this, the assembly is used for measuring both type of heat, radiation as well as convection. A small air gap is added to estimate the local heat transfer coefficient. Means here is the like these are two plates. Here is that is put. This is small air gap is there to measure different small parameters like density, the distance of both like x as we see earlier. Then moving to next. The specifications of this type of heat flux sensors are its nominal sensitivity is 3 microvolt per watt meter square. Its temperature range is 0 to 250 degrees centigrade. Its expected accuracy is very less, which is within plus or minus 10%. Its response time is very high, 0 to 5 seconds, which is high according to the all types of heat flux sensors. Its temperature measurement again type K thermocouple is used. The next is the applications for heat flux sensor. As we earlier see, there is a pyranometer is a device which uses heat flux sensor. Its application is meteorology field in climatography, in solar energy studies it used, as well as the heat flux sensor here we saw how it used in meteorology and agriculture. As soil heat flux is most important parameter in agrometeorological studies. As we see, there is a soil which is having different flux heat in the soil. We will see the two heat flux sensors as we see the example. In this example, we put two heat flux sensors because of different temperatures of soil, different water levels of soil. It gives the combined effect and gives at the averaging output at the output. Then, secondly, but there are some errors occurred in the soil. First is the fact that the thermal properties of the soil are constantly changing. Because of there are the different kinds of water in that soil. Due to the sun heat, the water get absorbed and evaporate in the atmosphere. Due to that, we cannot get the exact reading. Secondly, the flow of water through the soil also represents a flow of energy going together with the thermal shock. Thermal shock, this is the thing which is responsible for temperature dependence increase in heat flux sensor. Due to that, it gives some faulty readings. And the third, the aspect of soil is that by constant process of wetting and drying and by animals living on the soil, the quality of contact between the sensor and soil is not known. Due to this fact, if the water level increases in the soil due to this reason, the contact between the soil and sensor may vary due to the distance of both of the things are changes. Due to this, heat flux sensor is not readily detected. For this purpose, self-calibrated heat flux sensor is used, which is easily get the heat flux from the soil. And second application is in building physics. This is the most probably usable application. In this study, the mounting of heat flux sensors on wall in existing building or structure built especially for the types of research. If we have old buildings, there is this thing is used. If you want to get research of old buildings and old kind of thing, the heat flux sensor is put on it and get how much flux or how much temperature effect on that wall. The measurement of heat flux on wall is comparable to that in the soil in many respects. The major differences, however, in both, like in building physics or in soil, both are same. Only difference are two difference are there. First is that walls generally do not change, provided its moisture content does not change. Means in soil, you see the moisture in the water or water level may changes due to the temperature, but in the wall, it also some extent changes, but not very in much quantity. For that purpose, they put the heat flux sensor inner surface or outer surface of the wall. Here we see in the soil, they place the heat flux sensor inside the soil. But here they place the heat flux sensor inner or outside the wall. Due to this, and that is not always possible in insert heat flux sensor, so that it has to be mounted on inner and outer surface. Next, the applications in medical studies. In medical studies, it is useful to measure the flux generated on human body or in living being. Like the measurement of the heat exchange of human being is of importance in designing clothing, immersion suits, and sleeping bags. There, the difficulty during this measurement is that the human sleep is not suitable for mounting any sensor. Due to this, if we place the sensor, it is the cause that it is slippage is occur. Secondly, another problem is that the test person might be moving. We know that the patient is not constantly sleep or steadily sleep on the bed. He also moving. For that person, we also recommended to use self-calibrating sensor. It means if he person is able to move, the sensor get the accurate reading at the outside. For this purpose, we will use the needle type heat flux sensor. The needle type heat flux sensor we can easily mount and stop it on the human body. The next is calibration and problems to avoid. Some heat flux sensors respond to different modes and condition of heat flux differently. We know that the conditions for a soil or wall or a human body, there are different conditions for different types of metal. There are different types of sensor also available for this. So the calibration of that heat flux sensor and avoidance of that problem is necessary. The one organization is there, which is NIST, National Institute of Standards and Technology. This organization is designed to calibrate all types of heat flux sensors. The major problem with the heat flux measurement is the error caused in the heat flux by disruption of the sensor itself. Which we know that the response time for heat flux sensor is very less in all sense. Another thing, the thermal dependence is also varying in heat flux sensor. For that, it will remove by conduction. Like as I told earlier, the equation as we convert the heat flux sensors diagram in the electrical circuit, then we get T sen is equal to R sen into C sen. Means resistance into capacitance. This is response time of heat flux sensor. If we vary the values of RC, resistance and capacitance to balance this comparison using conduction mode of heat, we will balance the response time and get the accurate time and remove this error or minimize that error. Next is these are some manufacturers for heat flux sensor. Mainly the Hupex is the major manufacturer of the heat flux sensor. As we see that 10 types of heat flux sensor. All heat flux sensors are made by Hupex, and this is the very he is the inventor of heat flux sensor. These are some other companies manufacturer who invented the heat flux sensor. Like their names for heat flux sensor are Microcoil, HFM, EP sensor, heat flow sensor, garden gauge, Chemit boiler, coaxial thermocouple. As I know, tell you that garden gauge and Chemit boiler both are the same name. Then their descriptions are different. Like coil thermocoil, this is for microsensor thermopile. This is for wire mount. This is for circular coil. This is for consistent temperature, and this is for temperature measurement kit. And this is liquid crystal thermal system. And these are their different prices for heat flux sensor. This type of heat flux sensor. So finally, we will today see what is transducer, what is sensor, what is the type of temperature sensor, which type of temperature sensor is used in heat flux sensor. Then we moving towards heat flux sensor. We will see heat flux sensor, their applications, various applications, their various types, how it will be calibrated, and one of the measure we see some general characteristic of heat flux sensor as well as some errors in heat flux sensor. Then we see some methods how to remove it, like using T varying response time. What are the errors in heat flux sensor? We will see. Finally, we will see some manufacturers of heat flux sensor. So that's the heat flux sensor. Thank you.